Hey everyone, welcome back to my Parenting in a Pandemic series. Today we are in part 3. So part 3 is Wins for Working Moms, and I'm excited for you to meet Deshawna Colvin. Deshawna is an educator with Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and she has 2 master's degrees, one in management and one in instructional design and educational technology. She is a mom of 4, and there are 15, 12, 5, and 3. And she's married to an amazing guy by the name of Maurice. So I'm so grateful that you are here, and let's tune into what Deshawna has to share with us today.
Well, Deshawna, I am so glad you're joining me today. Welcome to my Healthy Family Roots blog, and I really appreciate just you joining me today and giving me some of your time. You are a full-time working mom, and so I feel you because I am one too. And but you are definitely my hero because you have 4 kids and you are just juggling so much. But when I was thinking about wins for working moms, I thought about you because you do so much and you're so organized. And I know that because you helped me in my parent teen conference by coordinating the children's conference part of that. So I just know that you're awesome. So I just do want to ask you, as a working mom that you work away from the house at this time, you've already gone back to your office. How are you juggling that with the kids now back in school?
So one of the things that I'd like to say is just making sure that I utilize the people that are around me, which in close proximity during this pandemic, it's been my husband. And thankfully, we are blessed to be in a situation where he can be at home. And so he is the teacher and the principal at home with the kids. So that's definitely been a blessing. Going into Canvas and getting those weekly or daily notifications are one way that he and I stay organized and stay connected on what's being done at home and what I might need to check in and get verification in while I'm at work.
Yeah, because so you have 4 children. So tell me, what grades are they in?
So Jordan's in 10th grade, and she's actually in the engineering program at Moody. So she's in several pre-AP classes right now. Christopher just started middle school, so he's in a pre-AP class and a band class, which is interesting virtually. Nariah just started kindergarten this year.
Aww.
And then Amari is about to be 4, but still in daycare.
Okay, so you're juggling 3 different schools, so a high school, a middle school, and an elementary student. So working together with your husband, checking in on all the websites, the emails, and all of that, trying to keep everything organized. So yes, so give us some tips as working moms. I see even behind you, like you have this little setup for your kindergartner. That's really cool. But yeah, give us working moms some tips on how to stay on top of everything.
So one of the first things I would say is to just train the family in general, to just get everybody on board with we are a family unit. In order for us to prosper and just be at our best, everyone needs to be working together. So one of the things that I started was getting the kids and Maurice to use their Gmail calendars. So using their Google calendars, when they put something in, they would share it with the rest of us. So that became a way for us to know what each other are doing. I know kids nowadays are getting cell phones in elementary school. And so if your child is able to read and they're having different deadlines and sporting events and things like that, start to get them to send those calendar requests, get them to start learning how to be organized, because it's going to help you in the long run. When Jordan was in middle school, I would tell her, if you want me to attend your sporting events, you need to put it in the calendar. So if she missed it, she would say, Mom, you weren't there. And I would tell her, well, it wasn't in the calendar and something else from work came up. And so that was one way that I've been able to do that. So another tip that I want to give for moms that have small kids that might not have a cell phone or even know how to read is using an app called Cozy, Cozi, and it's a family organizing app. You can have calendars where you color code each child. You can even do a grocery list and send that to somebody
Oh,
from that app. So it's really a great way to keep the family organized when you have little kids. Maurice and I used to use it when Jordan and Christopher were little, and then when they got older, we switched over to the Google Calendar. Another way is to create a family command center. And so it's a
ooh.
centralized location in your house where you can have a cork board. We usually
Mhm.
put receipts up there or coupons. If the kids have something that needs to be signed, they would put it up there. So it became that centralized location that we knew where to go to find things related to family.
Well, great. So I like that. So then, even like you said, not just so school stuff, things that needs to be signed, but even events or things like even coupons. I like that. So that's like a big
Mhm.
hint. Like, okay, mom, here's something that we want. But that's great. So command center and Google training. I think that's great. Getting them. I mean, technology, right? It's not a big stretch for them. I think our kids are born
Right.
into this, and it's easy. It's like you said, training them to do that. Well, so that's definitely a great tip. So let me ask you, as far as at the end of the day, you've been gone. So Maurice has been kind of the principal, and we were kidding around earlier that you're the superintendent. But so then, how um, do you? How much do you do? Like once you get home, is there still a lot more to do as far as your kids' homework, assignments, and all of that stuff?
So with Naraya, it seems I was able to be home on Friday. So I was able to see she
Mhm.
gets her homework done or assignments done during the school day. With Christopher, I don't know if it's just him or middle school, but he doesn't really seem to have homework. It's really Jordan because of the
Mhm.
engineering program that has a lot of homework, and her age doesn't really require a lot of assistance. So I don't really have a lot of help, or I don't really have a lot of assisting to do when I get home in terms of what they need. I'm usually checking in. Did you do this? I saw a Canvas notification. I'm usually checking in to make sure they did it, not necessarily sitting down doing the work with them.
So now I know that you are an educator. I mentioned that you have two master's degree in the intro. So what are some resources or some online places that us parents can go to for help? Speaking with moms and things that I usually can't help my kids. They're in high school and doing all kinds of math and other things that are beyond me. English I can do, but other things I can't. But what are some good resources for moms or parents to go to help them, whether if they can or cannot help, but just places that are good to go to and visit?
So I would say we're definitely living in a time where you don't have to know everything. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
been a struggle, going from you would always ask your parent and they would tell you the answer. And now when the kids ask me a question, I'm like, I don't know that. Google it. I mean, you have
Mm-hmm.
access to this. So Khan Academy is a great online resource, and
Mm-hmm.
they actually have kinder and preschool stuff on there now, but they're anywhere from 3 to 12 minute tutorials on everything from pre-K through college level material, math,
Wow.
science, grammar, reading, history, everything, and it's free. So I would say direct your kids to Khan Academy. They can watch the tutorial and do practice problems. So
Mm-hmm.
that's one way. And you don't have to be the expert. Another thing would be to use Quizlet. So with 4 kids, I mean, even in terms of papers, in elementary or school, the kids are always drawing stuff and then your house is just cluttered with all these things. So flashcards can be overwhelming too.
Mm-hmm.
Quizlet is an online flashcard program. And so you're able to create virtual flashcards and study with them. There's already material out there. So I think those two are probably my top two. You could use them on a Chromebook or a laptop or even on your cell phone so you could take them with you on the go.
I love Quizlet. I have used that in my college level courses for exams, studying for my exams. So absolutely, Quizlet's great. And so, as a working mom, you work full time and you have 4 children. You have a very supportive husband. So praise God. But it is a lot. But for those of us that do work outside the home, and some of us are working at home with the kids and having to juggle all of that at the same time, what words of encouragement or just wisdom would you like to share with us?
allow yourself to learn. I mean, right now, everyone is dealing with things that they've never really had to deal with. So have grace for yourself. And don't compare yourself to other people. I think a lot of times people are seeing somebody else, especially as women, we see somebody and we're like, well, they're able to do this and this. Don't do that. It'll just take up that mental space you need to focus on the kids or self-care. And so do the best that you can. Reach out to other working moms. That way you can see what are different things they're doing and incorporate that into your routine. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But I always tell people, don't think one size fits all. Every family dynamic is different. And so the biggest thing has been giving myself grace, and then just knowing that God has it all in control. And so don't stress. I think that's been the biggest thing, is going from being a controlling person, like I have to control everything, to right now, I can't control anything. All of these external circumstances, I just have to trust God and say, okay, from one day to the next, just be in the moment that day and get from one day to the next.
And I do think that communication is definitely a huge factor. Like you were saying, putting your appointments in a calendar, I think is very important. And then communicating from your, as spouses, communicating with each other so that we're both, aware of what's going on, what assignments are due, the teacher called, or this email, the school district sent this email, we need to respond by this. So I think for those moms that have a husband, to kind of encourage that family, like you said, a command center, I think that's a great idea. And then maybe for some moms that a lot of it is on you, is to rely on a network, like what you said earlier, Deshawna. I think it's so important to definitely be able to take a break, have grandma watch them for a day or half a day. And like you said, self-care. I think we women are the worst at it, but we probably need it the most, because we always end up putting ourselves at the, in the back burner. But I just want to say thank you so much, because I know that you do a lot and I appreciate you. And I just love how you have everything set up behind you. And it just, it's like real life right here. It's like kindergarten is going on in the Colvin household right now.
Yes, it's very real. And even the older kids are using the calendar. And I mean, it's great. Everybody's engaged with each other's learning. And I think that's what it is. It's the family unit together instead of individual components. We're all in this together.
Absolutely. And making it as fun as possible, right? As much as we can. And so kind of breaking it up, the monotony, and trying to do things in between. So absolutely. Yeah. Well, Deshawna, thank you so much for those tips and that encouragement. And I thank you so much for your time. I love and appreciate you. I know that it's a lot in this season, but like you said, God gives us the grace to do it all. So thank you so much, Deshawna, for your time. I love you, and I will see you at church.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, isn't Deshawna great? I really appreciated her insight and all of her tips. And in fact, I'm putting up a slide right now that includes what she shared with us, including the online resources. I'm sure they'll be of great help to you. Next time, we're going to be talking to another guest mom and talking about when our students are back in the classroom. And so I hope you'll stay tuned for that. Until then, thank you so much for connecting with me online and for liking and sharing my social media platform post, and I look forward to seeing you there.